Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing fine. I am your friend Manish and today we are going to discuss one more interesting JavaScript interview question. So without any further delay, let's get started. So first of all, we will go through the problem statement. The problem statement is what is composition and create a pipe method which helps achieve the composition. So composition is something which combine different things together to achieve the end result. For example, if you want to relate to this, you can think about component composition as well in terms of React, where we combine multiple components together to build the end result, to build the end user interface, right? So that is the example of the component composition. Now here in this problem statement, we are asked to create a function composition. So function composition is a way where we can combine multiple functions together in such a way that the output of first function becomes the input of the second function, and if we have more than two functions, in that case the output of second function will become the input to the third function, and so on. So that is called the composition in functional programming like JavaScript. I hope till now we are clear. So let's proceed further. You are asked to create a pipe function which chain multiple functions together. So we are expected to create a pipe function which chain multiple functions together. That means our pipe function will receive multiple functions as an input, right, together to create a new function, and it will create a new function and that will return that function to be further consumed. So pipe function, one thing, it will take multiple functions as an input, like as an argument, and as an output it will return a function which we can call to get the result out of that. And as a set of input functions, we have been given this some mathematical function which is like multiply, plus, subtract and divide, and how we are expected to use that function. So pipe will receive multiple functions as an argument in this format. So we are supplying two parameters here, like one parameter with the two function calls like times 2 and times 3. Okay, let us understand what does this mean when we are saying pipes times 2 and times 3. So it means this. So we are saying times 2, we are calling the method times with the parameter 2, and this gets called and it returns a function this x into 2. Similarly we call this and it returns another function which says x into 3, because y's value get fixed here. We supplied y's value as 2 and 3. Cool. So now what pipe should do is, pipe should start calling this function, right, the very first function, and whatever will be the output of this based on x, output of this should become the input to the second, output of first, right? And when this x will be supplied, so this pipe will return a function in return, and that function can take the x as a parameter, right? I hope this makes sense. Now let's start creating the pipe function. So there are other use cases also which are defined here that follows a similar pattern. So times 2 gets called and the output of this gets consumed by plus 3, and output of this gets consumed by times 4, and similar to this. And it says to keep things simple, the parameter this takes one argument only. That's fine. Now we can start implementing the solution. Cool. So we have been given a list of functions, right? So what we can do is, first of all, I can return a function which we can call. When we call the pipe function, it should return a function which should get x as a parameter, because x is still unknown to us, right? So this will receive x as a parameter. Now what we should do is, we should start calling this function one by one, and for that what I can do is, I can simply create a for loop, let I is equal to 0 and I less than functions dot length and I plus plus. This is fine, and const function is equal to what is my current function in the loop, so that is I. So this is fine, we got the function. Now function gets called with parameter x, right? But here we are doing the mistake that we are calling all the function with the same parameter x, and that is what we are not expected to do. We have to pass the output of first function to the input of the second function. So what I can do is here actually const argument, first I can declare it with x, actually it would be let only, and actually I can pass this as an argument, and whatever the result of this, again I supply to this argument. So we will keep on reassigning the argument. So in the second function call, right, this argument is updated with the result of the first function call, and it will receive that as an argument. Similarly, in the case of third function call, argument holds the value of the second function call, and so on. And at the end, what I can do is, I think I can directly return the argument, because it holds the result of all the function calls here. So this looks fine. Let's try it. Cool, we are done, right? So that way all the test cases are passed. It's trying to call multiple functions together and getting the expected output. So that is how we can solve this problem. Cool. Now there is one more way to write this particular code. So here we actually wrote few set of lines, right? I can reduce this code if I use the reduce method, the JavaScript reduce method, which is applied on the arrays, and here functions is an array which we are calling one by one. And if I want to use the reduce method, what I will do is I can return, right? I will write return and functions dot reduce. The first parameter will be accumulator ACC and function, right? And I guess this is the syntax, right? ACC is the accumulator, and here we have to supply the starting value of the accumulator. So the starting value we will take as x. The starting value we will take as x, right? And here we can call the function directly, return function with the value of accumulator. Cool. I think this makes sense. Let's understand what does it mean. Function dot reduce, here is the accumulator and the current function which is coming from the while doing the reduce on each item of the function. So function we have. Now what should be the argument to that function? So for the very first time when our reduce is just starting, x should become the first parameter. So x will get assigned to this ACC for the very first function call. So this ACC gets supplied as a parameter, and for the next subsequent calls we are returning this, and that gets assigned to the ACC for subsequent function calls after first. So that gets assigned to the subsequent function call, and that we are using as a parameter to the function 2, function 3, function 4, and so on. And when this loop finishes, when this reduce finishes, whatever is the output of this should get returned as the final output of the function. Now let's validate this as well. Cool, this is also working. We nailed it, right? So this is how you can achieve this in functional programming. We can create a pipe function which can help create us a composition. Basically the output of one gets assigned to the next set of function as an input. I hope this video helps you get some insights about JavaScript, helps you build more understanding about JavaScript, and helps you build your love about JavaScript. So if you like this video, I would request you to please consider like, share and subscribe to our channel. Shower your love to our channel so that we get motivation to create more such helpful videos for you guys. Until then, take care. See you soon next time. Bye bye. Take care.